brunchin', a good brunchin', a good brunchin'. It's the Good Brunchin Podcast. 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 Everybody, Good Brunchin'. It's the Good Brunchin Podcast. It's the Good Brunchin Podcast. It's the Good Brunchin Podcast. Everybody, Good Brunchin'. You are tuned into the Good Brunchin Podcast. Good Brunchin.
Good brunchin'. I just want to be honest. If this ain't the most Monday-ish Tuesday ever, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know about y'all, but I'm a little messed up today. But people, what's up? Good Brunchin' is the Good Brunchin Podcast. We are here Monday through Friday, 12 to 1 and 8 p.m. on Mondays on GS Radio. You are here with your favorite hosts. That's myself, Bill the Billionaire, Ace Brown, and Tamika. Family, what's good? How y'all doing?
What up?
We are here today. Uh-oh. Is there echo? Okay, there we go. We back. We good. Meek over here moving around. There we go. Meek back. Okay. So good brunchin', everybody in the chat. Good brunchin'. Make sure you go ahead and share your the brunch page. Make sure you share it with your friends, share it with your people. Let them know that we are here, that we are live. But Mika, Ace, how's your Memorial Day weekend?
Go ahead, Meek. You go first, Meek.
It was good. I sat here, did a good little fake spring cleaning. Got ready for today because today is my 17-year-old's. Well, he turned 17 today. So we hung out together. Of course, yesterday was my uncle's birthday who transitioned, and my dad made 28 years that he transitioned. So we was just celebrating them yesterday.
And like I said, Gemini gang, shout out to the Geminis. You know, it's Gemini season. I will keep reminding y'all. If y'all don't know, we will keep reminding. Don't do that, me. Don't do that.
Why?
Excuse me? Because we the best. What they say, Khaled, we the best.
Oh my God.
Ace, what's good with you, man? How was your weekend?
Weekend was solid. Did nothing spectacular. Just went to the parentals down in South Carolina and chilled with them for a minute. Wasn't planning on getting on the grill, but got on the grill. Got another dad story, another funny dad story. My father-in-law had me in tears.
Oh
man, my man.
Tell us you gotta wait. Can you tell us you gotta wait?
I tell you, my pops wanted to have a car. He goes out and gets a car. I'm still sprucing up what's funny and what's not, but I give you just the main thing. My father-in-law, everything is he old school. For those I don't know, my father-in-law is real old school. So anytime he introduces himself, his whole name. It ain't Johnny Sherman. How you doing? Everything. It sound like a lawyer when he be introducing himself. Johnny Sherman.
Right.
So we go in and the dude says, he's like, can my son come in? So he's like, yeah. So the dude name was Steve. So we sitting there and my father-in-law sees this sign behind him. It's like a quote. We had Ford. It's a quote and it says Henry Ford. My father said, he walks away. My father said, I thought the nigga name was Steve, but clearly it's Henry Ford. I said,
I'm done.
That is hilarious.
I was not. That's
he
the
said,
funny.
maybe they calling him Steve for short. Maybe they call him Steve for short. Because you know Dick and Harry the same shit, right?
No, I lost it. I lost it when he said that. So big shout out to my pops getting it.
Yo, shout out to him. Shout out to him. Hey, what up? I was a shout out to 275 in Park. Chuck Burke. We was down out there. I'm at the club out in Brooklyn. We was there Saturday out there for the gospel comedy show. The show was dope. Definitely dope spot. Huh? No, the show was definitely dope. Shout out to Josiah. Josiah came out from Detroit. Dude is a beast.
Wait, Josiah, that light-skinned kid?
Yeah, with the
dreads, and he got like orange hair, carrot top.
Yep.
Yeah, I spooked him on live one time. That's okay.
Yeah. Nah, he real cool dude. Came out and did his thing. He opened up and brought it down. So that show was definitely dope. You know it's good when you get in and start emptying out that suitcase, Ace. You know how that show when the suitcase start getting a little lighter, it's like, come on now.
Yes, sir.
That's always a good thing. But people, listen, we're here Monday through Fridays from 12 to 1 live here on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe. And if you ever miss anything, go ahead and watch. But people, y'all know we love to hear from y'all.
Hold up, before you go to the email, let me say this. Bill is getting ready. Which about to be 38, 37, Bill? 39. My brother is 3 and some change years behind me. But he makes me feel old at times.
Why?
I call him to help me with Canva, and this
nigga let me tell you something.
This nigga look like I bothered him forever. This nigga, he looked like he was talking to a 90-year-old.
Yo, let me tell you something. I want to say nothing.
He like this. What? Oh my! Oh, to the left, your other left.
Yo, I swear. But you know, like if it was anybody else, it was like a parent. But when your boy calls you and he sounds like my mom, first we started on the phone and I'm walking him through it, and it's really self-explanatory. And then I go like this. All right, Joe, FaceTime me so I can see your screen because I know what I'm talking about. He goes like this. All right, so what I do now? Then he got the daggone phone to the screen like this, so I can't see. I was like, yo, move the screen over to the left. No, move it to the left because I can't see it. And I'm at my sister's house for my nephew's birthday. So I'm over there with the family and I'm sitting there like this. I'm getting irritated because I'm like this. What is wrong with you? How you doing?
My God.
Bro, emotional damage for real from my own brother. I was talking to him. I'm like, no. Back it up. Pull it to the left, pause. But it was crazy. Like, come on. He's like, all right. And then you know how you help him with it. And then guess what? I told him I was doing stuff. He goes like this. All right, so look, I don't want to keep it long. So look, this is what I'm thinking, right? Now, if you look at this, right? So now, if I
he was acting like he's about to say his whole name, right? Like, all right, I thought that his whole name was gonna go out. Well, my name is Ace Brown.
Oh my God!
Yo, I was like this. This dude really had me sitting here. He broke down a whole nother project, and then I'm like, yo, I'm gonna call you right back. Yo, real talk. 2 minutes later. Phone goes off, it's him. I'm like this. He goes like this. He goes, yo, don't want to hold you. I
don't want to hold you.
No. Here. Matter of fact, let me FaceTime so I can show you.
That is hilarious.
So please, I love my brother. That's why a lot of times, H, we used to do these videos together, right? I would tell H, just send it to me. Because for me to sit here and just send it to me. I don't want to have to explain it to you. Then I start putting you in the category of my parents. So that was a moment. And all Ace needed was his glasses on like this. Baby, look at him.
And the crazy thing, I was like, yo, am I not? At one point, he was like to your left in the upper left corner. I'm like, I don't want to be like, let me go get my glasses.
Bro. I was like, nah, something
is
really wrong. But yeah, shout out to my brother. But people, y'all already know y'all need to send in your emails. Y'all want to send in any emails, we can read them right here on the show. You can send them into the Good Brunchin Podcast at gmail.com. And we will go ahead and read your emails today. So we got mail, people. Yes, we do. And this first email, well, the only email we got for today, this email comes in and it says, Dear Good Brunchin Podcast, my name is Tina, and I've been listening to your podcast for some time now. I recently moved in with my boyfriend after dating for 3 years. He has moved into the home that I own, and we're both excited about this next chapter in our life. Before he moved in, I had a list of home projects and jobs that I wanted to tackle, and now I'm wondering about the best ways to approach him about the financial aspect of these tasks. Should my boyfriend be responsible for any payments related to these projects, or should I handle them on my own? My girls are telling me I'm wrong if I ask for anything, but we both live here now. I appreciate any advice. Thanks so much. Good Brunchin, Tina. So Tina and her man living together now. Do you feel that he should be responsible for those house duties? Let's say she's building the deck. She's adding on to house, doing all. These are things that she had planned before. Do you think she's wrong for asking for money?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think she's wrong.
You don't think she's wrong, me? Why do you don't think she's wrong, me?
Because if I'm building a patio, that means you're gonna enjoy that shit too. When we sit into a barbecue, when you're gonna have your friends come over, right? We both live here. So now I can understand if I'm telling you, yo, you need to help me with my she shed. That's a whole different story. That's my she shed. That's mine. I'm gonna put the investment to that. But we are here putting more value into a house that we both live in. So he should be able to help.
But my thing is, I understand that, but let's just say I didn't move in right now. You had those plans before me. So now that I come in, because I come in now I gotta get a play. What was you gonna do if I didn't move in?
I was gonna do
You're gonna get it done on your own.
Right.
So why should we start now?
Because you live here now.
So look, I'll move in when you get the stuff done.
Then whatever else gotta get done, and if there's some other stuff that gotta get done,
if that's already done, when you trying to say I can enjoy the bar,
there's nothing that you could do if it was already done. But if you moving in and I'm here putting in work in a house that we both live in, and let's say I want to move after that, we're putting more value into the house. Now again, I could understand if it was like a she shed, or I'm trying to sit and do something for me, and you really don't have nothing to do with it. That's a different story, but. You're not going to sit here and say, oh, I'm not going to help you build the patio. But when I build that patio and I set it up and I got the grill and all of that, you want to have your boys come over. Get out of here with that.
Let me address some of these comments. Number one, Auntie said if they needed to be fixed before he moved in, it's on her. Giovanni says he's sitting on the deck. Supervillain said responsible for him. Nah, they were pre-existing tasks. However, she's also not wrong for asking. That's her man. They live together. Why not help? Just don't say I'm responsible to help out. Killer Kev said living in ownership ain't the same thing.
Right.
She's going to have all that equity. Ronnie also says she's not asking him to pay for the whole thing. I say this. I think that he should want to help because now it's a us thing. But for her to feel as though it's now a part of his responsibilities, air quotes, I don't think it's a part of his responsibility because these are things that maybe I don't want a deck. You want a deck. Now, do I benefit from a deck happening? Yes, I do. I get to sit on the deck. Maybe certain things I eventually start doing. But to say, well, you're responsible for it. No, he should say, oh, you already had plans for a deck? Well, what was your schematics on it? How much does it cost? All right, I'm going to throw a little bit in. I would say that. But when you start throwing in responsibility, I think that's something that the two of them sit down for. For instance, you know, if I'm sitting there, like me and T talked about it the other day, and I was like, yo, I would love to get an above ground pool. She was like, I don't think we swim enough to have an above ground pool. If I go ahead and want to do an above ground pool, then it should be me putting in all the effort, putting in all the money, getting it all said and done. Does she get the benefit from it? Yes, she does. But I can't sit here and say, well, you know what? I'm going to need you to help with this, or I'm going to need you to help with that. Because she's going to be like, no. I didn't want this above ground pool. I told you we don't do it enough. So now you want me to get out here and get the cleaning and fishing for these leaves that done fell in because you don't want to take the responsibility for it. So I think when you put the term responsible on there, it like kind of like mixes it up.
And then Auntie just said, what happens if it doesn't work out? He moves out. Does she give him money? Does she give him money back? And then I got to go back to like what Kev said. Like living and ownership is different. Okay, y'all live with each other, and you know he might be, put money in on the house, and you know maybe help with the mortgage now or whatever. But at the same time, God forbid something happen, that he's done. That ain't, you know what I'm saying? So all that investment that he puts into this house, I don't know certain things. Now if he comes in, he's like, yo, I want to let's say the basement ain't finished. He want to finish the basement because he want a man cave. You know what I'm saying? Now he want to put into that. And you like, but look, we got to get this deck done first. No, that's something that you wanted to get ahead and do. So you go ahead and take care of the deck. And then we can work on this basement because we all doing this. You know what I mean? We doing this together. So I don't feel that it's just all on. Like, but now listen, if he does ask, okay, but understand if I don't want you to say, okay, I got to just pay attention to this. I want to get ahead and, be on both ends.
But I also think that it goes, and I see how Mika faces. I think it also has something to do with understanding that we're not saying that he should not assist, but the word responsible, because that's what was in the email. should he be responsible for helping? No, you shouldn't be responsible for anything unless I put in on it, meaning I planned on this. Because like I said, what if his thing is, I don't see a need for a deck. Now all of a sudden she like, but I do. Now, okay, well then go ahead and do the deck.
Build your deck.
But I don't see a need for it. A need and a want is two different things. I don't need a deck. We maybe need to get this bathroom fixed. So now when you sit now, it'd be different if she was like, now that he's here, right now I have a stand-up shower that's a little bit raggedy for the two of us, but I felt as though it was good enough for me. Now that he's here, I think that we need to get this bathroom done over. Now it's like, okay, we both need to use this restroom.
Yeah.
But deck, that's an option.
It may depend on what it is. What's wrong, Meek? Talk to us, Meek. How you feeling, Meek?
Meek like this. Meek,
I'm listening to y'all. I said what I said.
Yeah, Meek will be type like this. Meek will be type pay everything. He be like this. So you enjoying your day? Yes. Get your filthy paws off of it.
Shit, don't touch that deck.
I don't care where you sit. Don't sit on my deck since you don't want to help.
Dang, that's crazy. See, yo, I'm moving out. That's what I'm doing.
Supervillain said putting up. Hold on. Supervillain said putting up major money for a house project. Then a week later you can get out because she mad.
But you see, I think that's why I got the face too, right? Because I hate people that sit and automatically think of the end.
The negative.
Like, automatically. It's like, why? It's like,
I get it. I still don't.
I don't want to. I don't want to get too deep into this course because I want to come back to it because of the topic for today. You know what I'm saying? So the topic, because we got to come back to that because exactly what you said, me, is I feel it comes into our topic. So hold on to that because that's very important. So we're gonna come back to that. But people, if y'all want to ever email us and send us anything, send them into the Good Brunchin Podcast at gmail.com. We'll answer your emails. You see, we don't agree on everything. All right. Sometimes we bump heads and stuff. That's what we do. That's why it's just real. That's why we brunch together every day. So listen, send those emails into the Good Brunchin Podcast at gmail.com and we'll read your emails. We hope we were able to help you, Tina. And let's get into this topic. Because I think it's boiling up. So for today's topic, we got, is it better to live together than to live alone? And I feel like in this situation, I don't want to get ahead and live with nobody until like we know we actually doing and we like let's say married or whatever it is, because of the fact of like Tamika just said, it's always everybody's talking about, okay, it's so easy to go. And I feel like when you get married and you fully commit and you're doing that, that's not the first thing you're thinking of. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna go through stuff and you're gonna be in that house together, whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Marriage, and when you're with somebody, when you're living with somebody, it ain't as easy as, oh, you got an attitude, I'm leaving, I'm getting out. Nah, you have your name is on this, everything is investment into this whole thing. So sometimes people move into situations with living with each other for convenience. So you're moving in because, yo, my rent will be cheaper, my mortgage will be cheaper, but you're not even really in love with the person. You know what I'm saying? So now you there for the wrong reasons, or having somebody live with you for the wrong reasons, and now you got more problems later. So and at any point, that person can get up and walk away and have no responsibilities. It's all left on you. Excuse me. You know what I mean? So that's important when it comes to that. So that I think about when it's coming with with this last topic with them, because I feel like y'all aren't at this. Y'all might not be at this point where, or y'all might need to have that talk. Like, yo, what is it looking like? Where y'all going? You know what I mean?
Let me go ahead and read these comments, and then also if you guys would like the link, go ahead and just put link. We'll make sure we get that sent over to you. Supervillain said, and I didn't want you to get too far. That's why I interjected. Because there is more security in being a husband in that situation than being a boyfriend. Like you said, you got a lot more to waver when you talk about just walking away when you're married. Where else am I? Then we got, if living together, both names need to be on the deed of the lease. I live alone and I live with some. Wait a minute, is that right now, Texas Star? Is she saying I live alone and with somebody else at the same time right now?
I think she said. I meant
Is
she
she
meant
talking
I live. She probably meant I lived
Oh,
on.
I about to say,
And
wait a minute now. I about to say she's telling on herself. Wait a minute. I about to say, hold on now.
Oh, so
Say,
she's
hold
not.
on.
So she's not gonna do it again, living with somebody
Right.
unless she's
Okay, I get
married.
it now. All right, because I was about to say that. Number one, auntie says, I said it before, queen size bed for a queen. Some dudes don't know that they one dirty fork in a sink away from getting put out. And that is very true. Like I said,
That's
if you
facts.
want the link, please go ahead and just put link and we'll get that sent over to you. But go ahead. I know you're about to segue to Mika. Mika, do you feel as though it's better to live alone, live together? What?
I don't. So I'm gonna say this, right? I've learned in life that I don't want to be alone and I will never want to live alone or even die alone. But if it happens, I'm okay with it. Right. So it's like it don't matter to me. If I don't like to be alone.
Mhm.
Right. I really don't. I like to have I don't like feeling alone. I have my kids. I'm not used to that. I'm from a big household, So there's times that I could be here by myself and it's so quiet that it's loud. And I'm like, damn, I feel by myself. I want to go outside. Like to live alone, I don't for you to live alone and be happy to be alone, for me, I feel like you need to see a psychiatrist. Why would you want to be alone all the time? But if it happens, I'm okay with it.
I want to throw in there because of course we're talking about living alone and living with living with one person. But what about living with family?
Oh no.
Can you live with family? Can you live with family for a certain amount of time? There
I'm
are
not gonna
some
say no.
cultures.
Yeah,
There's some
I'm not
cultures
gonna
that live in multi-unit homes because
like
their thing
now.
is everybody stay under the same roof and then you buy next door. I mean, how do y'all feel about that?
So I'm not big on that. I don't like to be alone, but I like my space, right? I need my space. Everybody's family dynamic is different. I can't live with certain people, certain family members, because we get along for 3 months and then we scrapping like people in the street. So it's like with family, I can't do it. I'd rather sit and have I'll help you out. You could probably stay with me for 6 months, but make sure you're getting your shit together because you can't stay with me forever.
So is that under the same roof, or like if you have a family member like on the
The
third
only one
floor?
I'm gonna be able to, the only ones that I could do that with is my mother and my aunt. That's it.
So even if you have a 3-family home,
I have a 3-family home right now. My mother
so
lives downstairs,
cousin
and
so and
nobody
so.
else will move upstairs unless it's my aunt. Everybody else, y'all gotta figure it out. Because again, the family dynamic is different. I don't have that family that grew up with we're loving and no, we was all born into delinquency. So no, no. And if you need a place to stay, it's fine. But trust and believe you have a certain amount of time that you could stay here.
Bill?
Yeah. So for me, family, and like I said, I know it's like my sister, what I mean, my sister, my mom, my dad, or whatever. But then it's like who you can't live with, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like my house is my house, and the way I run my house is a certain way. So if that's gonna change, like I know, like for example, when my grandmother got older, my mom, she needed help. My mom was like, "Yo, you're gonna come live with us." Now my grandmother's living, and my grandmother came to live with us, and it's an adjustment. But then it got to a point my mom was like, "Look, I don't know. She gotta go just live with my aunt for a little while because I need a break." My grandmother's not. So it's like you got to be able to drop them off. Your time. You know what I mean? Sometimes like this, I'm always gonna be here for family. But then what happens is some family get comfortable and then they don't know when it's time to leave. You know what I'm saying? They be like, "Hey, I ain't got to go nowhere. I got all this right here." So that's another thing. And then I just can't live with everybody. And that goes with friends. Like look at us when we used to have somebody went to college, like your college roommate. Sometimes like I was able to, when I got to Dell State, I knew who my college roommate was, but you go in there with a complete stranger.
Right.
You know what I mean? So living with them is an adjustment, and it's like, yo, can I do this? So that part right there, but being able to be alone, like I'm with Meek, I never want to get ahead and be by myself. I like having someone or people there, but you have to be able to be alone though. Sometimes I'm like, yo, I can have my own spot, and you need to heal alone. Sometimes I just need like my me time, but then then after you get and do that, because I feel like if I'm not good for myself, I can't be good for anybody else that I have around me. You know what I mean? So I feel when you have that, it's a different situation.
And then you got people that will sit and say, "Oh, I don't want to live alone because I want the bills and all of the stuff." I don't give a shit about that neither. I
Yeah,
could
but I
stay
think
here. I could pay my own rent. I could pay my own car. I could pay my own insurance. I could do all of that. You understand what I'm saying? If y'all want to say, "Oh, it's better to live with somebody financially," that baffles me too. I mean, I would accept the help, and if we out here making it, we live together, we do it, but don't think that that's something that's needed from you, because it's not.
Well, I don't know if it's a need. Let me read some of these messages here. Texas Star says, I think it's scary as a single woman. I love my peace and quiet, but if someone lives with me, it would be a huge adjustment. It would be a huge adjustment. I don't like all that damn talking. Number one, Auntie said, living with family can be a curse and a blessing. Texas Star said, I say it's scary because I really like being by myself. Who am I going to piss off? Me? Supervillain say, get them out before they have squatters' rights. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the thing. I mean, for me, I guess my thing is, when it comes to family, I look at it as, if you have the land, and we can get into that too, but if you have the land, or of course up north, you got 4 families, you under the same roof, but you ain't under my unit. When it's time to go, like for example, Bill used his grandmother. You on the first floor. When I'm tired of you, I'm going upstairs. I don't.
But then you think. But now, are you charging them? Because, like, all right, so like, for example, one of the things, just as an investment property, I would love to get like I say, a 2-family house. You know what I mean? I rent it out. It's an investment property, do whatever. People say, okay, you put family on there. Okay, but now what happens when family can't pay the rent?
The same way.
But no. But that's what I'm saying. These are the things. I get it. You have to treat you're not saying you're no longer family, but I'd rather not have that responsibility with you, because if I don't know you over here messing, I'm not gonna do that, because now me and you have another problem. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the question. What do you consider rent? Are you saying we're splitting down what the exact bill is, or you're saying I'm trying to pocket some money off of you?
Let me tell you again. My mom lives downstairs.
I'm sorry.
My mom lives downstairs. I'm charging her the value of the apartment. Okay. So if you look up the state of Connecticut, you look up typical 3-bedroom, kitchen, the space, the area, I'm charging the value of that apartment in this area of West Haven. Now, that's my mom. I'm going to take off $200, because the rent for a 3-bedroom here typically, and for the size, will be $2,200 a month. You charge $2,000. At the end of the day, I still have a mortgage. I still have the taxes.
But what if your mortgage is, what if your mortgage is only $1,000?
There's still an apartment.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. That's where I think it comes into what the dynamics is of what you're trying to build. For example, I use my family. The house that we had in Newark was paid off by my great grandmother. The taxes at that time was $500 a year. Everything else was paid off. My grandmother, God rest her soul, was charging my mother $1,000 a month. And then when it came to fix stuff, she wanted my mother to go half. So when my mother packed up and left, my grandmother was like, why? Oh, you are charging me like it's crazy. We're not, we can't in one breath be building together, but in the next breath, you making money off of me.
But at the same time, if you were somewhere else, would you be paying that same amount and have the same thing?
Yes, but I'm not responsible for fixing the place up. You are.
So I see what you're talking about with that, because
if you're the landlord, I tell you, Bill, I'm paying rent. Bill, my sink need to get fixed. You don't say, well, let's go half.
Right.
I ain't got nothing to do with the half.
Yeah. Right.
And I mean, with that's what you got that money for too.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So that, I mean, that's
what I'm trying to say.
I was having company, and my mother was telling me that my grandmother was like, oh yeah, he had people spend the night. That was extra water that they use. I need some more money on the rent. Yo, bro, I'm dead ass.
Yeah.
So again, if I'm renting to you, unless you get into some stuff, like let's say is a domestic violence thing, and he slams your head into that wall, you're responsible for that.
Right.
If you're punching the walls, if you out here breaking stuff that
you're responsible for certain things that you're gonna go ahead and do.
And is you have to have common sense to know that you're responsible for that. But when I sit and if I'm charging you this rent, even if I don't pay anything, understand if the pipe breaks, who's responsible for it is me.
Mhm.
You understand? So that part, I don't agree with that part, but I'm gonna charge. Thank you. I'm gonna charge that amount because it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna charge that amount because there's still repairs that has to get done throughout the house. Even though I'm not gonna sit, I don't care if you're family or not. You
Right.
have to pay your rent because
what happens when y'all get up and leave?
The mortgage just may be $1,000, but that pipe that you broke downstairs just might cost more than what you're paying.
So number one, Auntie said it best. It's a business contract, and they all have to understand, and that all needs to be outlined in your rental agreement. I think that, like you said, there is no leaving. If meaning you can leave. Like for example, Bill, if I say, well, listen, I got this piece of land. On this land, I have a double wide for you, Jackie, and the kids. You pay, this is what you're responsible for your sewer and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't got to pay no taxes on it, or you only paying a part of the taxes. So everything else is there. So all you're doing is paying for this. The only thing is, if you happen to leave, someone from either BJ or Naya, somebody got to be living there. Then from there, it can be, we can expand it to the grandchildren and so on and so forth to keep this lot in the family.
Oh, just to keep it. Okay. You're trying to keep it
in the family, right? And it's the same criteria. That way, if you and Jackie say, well, now we want to go ahead and we want to go here. Okay, well, BJ and you and I are now responsible for this.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
People do that. It's like subleasing.
Yeah, you have to know who you could do that with, though.
Yeah,
right. And I think that's
who you could do that with.
But that's what I think the to make the question a little bit more broader of, is it better to live together than alone? My question to y'all would be, if you had family members that you knew you could work that way, would you opt to live with them on a piece of land?
I think the only one I could do that with is my father's mother, and she's not even here no more. And we've had, it touches me because my grandmother's house, she had that house for 33 years, right? From her kids to her grandkids, even her great grandkids and great great grandkids knows that house. And when she transitioned, they lost the house. That broke everybody's heart.
There you go.
That shit. And like, even myself and even my family that's in London, we was like, why the F didn't y'all say y'all couldn't maintain the house? If she left the house to you, because that's my grandmother, God rest her soul, the hard work and what she had to go through to get that house, and for her to leave it to one of her kids, and for them not to just let it go, that right there. So if there was a family member that I would do that with, and if she would have been younger, I would have done it with my grandmother.
Supervillain said one of my sisters used to rent from my grandmother. My sister would skip months of rent to go on trips and not even double up or pay it back. Grandma used to be pissed. It would never be me. And I think that's what you guys are saying.
Yeah. I think that with the when you just said like living with somebody, my thing is not that I can do it for, depends on why I'm doing this, right? Like you said, you want to get ahead. I would love to, like my house now. This is not my forever house, but I want to keep this house forever because I want to be able to, let's make this a rental property. Like my thing is thinking business wise, you know what I'm saying? Having, just owning and stuff like that. So having this house, so where to later on, when this house is paid off, I can get ahead and say, like, by the time my kids might need a house, okay, now they can get ahead and be here to keep the joint going and do whatever. And it's good to have. But now living with somebody, now let's say I would do something for right now. Let's just say this is a 2-family house. I would live on the first floor and have, let's say, one of my family members I know living on a top floor, and pay whatever we regularly going to pay to stack my money up to get out. Because that's a lot of people do. They do the whole rental property, stay there for a minute to go get their other house. And when I move out now, somebody lives in there, and that's how you get the thing started. So if that's the business plan of what you're gonna do, I'm all about that. You know what I mean? But it just depends on what's your business plan about it. And I just agree that when it comes to this, yeah, like Tamika, I can take some money off, but at the end of the day, I don't agree with your grandmother was doing, charge y'all to fix certain stuff.
Yo, and it was like that.
Even though she was pocketing almost $1,000, she was pocketing every month. House, having a house, all these things can change, and it'd be $1,000 they want right now to do a roof. $15,000.
But it was even shocking when it came, and I'm saying for that situation, when it came that you wasn't fixing the stuff. It wasn't you were just taking it. So it was more so I got to get mine. Number one auntie said it's sad when family members only see dollars. They don't realize that sometimes they are missing out on money. And then Supervillain said, and my grandma didn't charge her for the full rent amount for apartment and still was messing up on the money. She still was
somebody do that. That's crazy.
Yeah, those people right there. One of the things, and the angry producer actually brought this conversation up, and we were talking about it. One of the things that I think is good to live together, if you have it. Now, I don't say under the same roof because everyone lives differently. I think that takes that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where everybody, or the Family Matters type of thing, or the Cosby Show type. That takes a strong dynamic of a family that just says, "Hey, you know what? These doors are gonna always be open." And I think we kind of have that for the youth in our family. But when you get older, it's like, all right, look, you got to start flying your own plane or whatever. However, I think that if I could afford to have multiple. If I can afford to have multiple lots or double wides or whatever on an acre, on some acres of land, I definitely would do that, because I see a lot of people being in the South. I see a lot of people that be like this. Hey, my moms live over there, my grandmother live right there, and my this live right there, and they not under the same roof. They just on the same lot. Like, you turn down the street and it says Gilbert Way. And everybody on that lot is a Gilbert in some form or facet. They are related.
I think that's dope, and that's on that. I'm gonna go generational abundance, and just to get a building, to see that, and I think that's amazing. But then, like, I know for me, when I had a 2-family house before we moved to this. We lived in a 2-family house, and when we moved upstairs and we took over the upstairs, my old apartment was available. Now, the landlord at the time was like, "Yo, do you know anybody?" Me personally, I don't want to put certain people in that apartment as friends and do whatever, because I don't need you living under me. You coming up, hey, I don't need, you know what I'm saying? There's certain people I just don't want to live with, so I wouldn't offer it to you or do whatever. You know what I mean? So that's the, and there's certain family like, nah, because you're gonna want to be over here every day. You know what I mean? It's it's not that. You know what I mean? So it becomes different, when we go ahead and do it that way.
Number one auntie said my neighbor was smart. He has a 2.5 family. First and second floor are Airbnb, and the third floor he rents out to traveling nurses. Supervillain said it's definitely like that with my South Carolina family. Like 6 houses on one plot of land. Everybody got their own space, and that's to me, that's still living together. It's just because now you don't have to worry about, oh my God, I got to find somebody. No. We are all on the same lot. If I need somebody to watch the kids, you can go right here. I don't have to travel far. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's a convenience thing. I mean, that's cool. It's like your own little people. I'm like, yeah.
It's a very big convenience. I think that what throws it in there is sort of like what Mika was bringing up, is the fact that you have either, or even Supervillain was bringing up, if you have those family members that just don't want to pay bills, that's what makes people, not saying Mika's wrong for this, but that's what makes people say, well, wait, like Mika saying, well, first of all, I got to cover mine, because at the end of the day, it's my name on it. So I'm going to charge you like you would somewhere else, because I got to cover me. But if everybody was like, no, hold on. The end goal is for us to keep this land forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Now you get somebody say, well, look, I'm taking care of all of this. Hey, you know what? Over here, like I seen, not being funny, I seen some Mexicans where they had 3 acres. No, was it 3? Yeah, 3 acres of land. 3 acres of land. One had horses, one had cows, and one had fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And guess
That's a
what?
beautiful family dynamic.
You going ahead and you got all of this stuff to go ahead and be able to make whatever you got to make, do whatever you got to do, and you keep the money circulating on your land. When you get to say, if Bill says, hey, you know what, I want to build this, I will build it for the whole family. You know what I'm saying? I think that when people like living, and I think also, and a lot of our listeners are from up north, we have that up north mentality that we don't see a lot of land. For us, having our own is just having a house. And it's just a matter, do you got a 1, 2, or 3 family house? So when we see people being the quote unquote neighbors, it's like, yeah, I don't want nobody over my head. Like you said, Bill, I don't want nobody walking up and down the damn stairs all damn night telling them, you, the party was crazy. No, go lay down somewhere. You know what I mean? Whereas we, when you like Supervillain said in the South Carolinas and the southern states, your neighbor is you in a ranch house. You not in no upstairs, downstairs.
Yeah. So now,
you know what I mean?
So now, what do you? So Jackie said, "I love my family, but I will have to pick and choose who's coming." I agree with you. And then Steph said, "Family will rip you off if you let them." But now, let me ask you a question.
True, very true.
When it comes to the relationship aspect, when do you move in, and when do you say it's not time? Like, when is what's okay for you? What makes you feel comfortable and secure? What locks you in to say you either allow somebody to live with you or you'll live with somebody?
I gotta be really fully ready for that. If I can't say if I'm ready now or not. I gotta feel like
Is
I'm
that
ready
a
for that.
ring? Is that a ring commitment? Is that like, do you need a ring to move in with somebody?
No.
No ring.
Ring. Again, everybody's dynamic is different. Me and my Mickey didn't have a ring before we moved in together, and we married.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? The same with my ex, with my mother baby father. We didn't have no ring, but we had kids. We lived together, and it wasn't. We was together. Look, before me and Mickey moved in together, we was already 4 years, and then we said, "Fuck it, let's sit and let's do it." My ex,
Mm-hmm.
we was a year and a half, so it was like, is no time frame. It's just if I'm ready for it, if I'm ready to learn you and ready to figure you out and ready to sit and do this together. So I don't think there's a time frame for it. It's up to you guys.
What about you?
I think like Mika said, which is true. I think it comes down to the dynamics of where you at, because sometimes, and Bill, you spoke about this enough that you and Jack felt as though like, yo, we're paying bills at 2 places, but one person is always at another person's place. So that factors in. I don't think you could put a time frame on it. I think you just have to see where you are in your relationship status. What I will say is, though, if you are doing it to cut back on bills, like you're forcing the move, not like what Bill is saying, I'm always over here. You know what I mean? We done bought milk from my house, and I'm like, damn, we need milk for your house. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna be over here for the next 3-4 days or whatever the case may be, unless it's something like that. If your thing is, well, I'm dating this person and I'm struggling in my bills, so if I just opt that we move together, that'll help out. That's the wrong thing. I think that's the only time I would say that's a definite no. That if your plan is to quote unquote cut back on bills because you're already struggling, then guess what? You're gonna struggle with them as well. And then they're gonna be like, yo, wait a minute. I wasn't struggling when you was before you got here. You know what I mean? You were supposed to come in and help me out. How is it that I'm struggling? So I would definitely.
Would you rather move in to a rent situation or move into, like, let's say you got a house, the mortgage is in your name, and now your man's coming into your house. Like, is that a situation?
If I have a mortgage, don't expect me to move out my house.
Yeah, I'm not moving out. If I got the mortgage,
but now you have that mortgage, and I move in. Like, what type of, like, where are we at? You got the mortgage, so I really don't have. This is your house.
And this is where, before you move in, we gotta sit down and we gotta have that type of conversation. You're not gonna just move in and then we're gonna have that conversation. We gotta have this conversation. You gotta understand. Yes, it was my hard work that said it. I got this house. Before you was even thought of, before I even thought I was gonna be with you or anything like that, I got this house. Now we have to sit and have that conversation.
You putting his name on the deed? You putting his name on the deed?
It ain't that easy.
It's not that
I'm not just
easy.
asking.
I'm
I'm
not
just
gonna
saying.
sit here and say it's easy, but again, that should be a part of the conversation.
I
It
think that
should be a
No,
comes
I
part of the
agree.
later.
Yeah.
conversation because again, I'm not jumping into this automatically thinking we're gonna end. I'm
Mm-hmm.
jumping
Right.
into this
But
thinking we're gonna sit and we're gonna be together. So at the end of the day, even if we don't end, then guess what? We just gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna get you the fuck out of here or whatever because we doing this together. That's a conversation that has to be had way before y'all even move in together.
so I can only speak from experience of because that was exactly what was with me in New Jersey. The house that we had in Newark, which was from my the same house I was talking about with my grandmother, it was left to my mom and me and my sisters or whatever. And when T moved in, one of the things that to answer your question, Bill, I immediately told her this is your house too. You have just as much say so as I do. You know what I mean? Now I
That's something
can't.
that's important.
Yeah, I can't say how she felt because I can't speak for her. I do
Mhm.
know sometimes I used to, I would ask her something and she would be hesitant, like, well, I get, that's really up to you. And I'm like, no, it's up to us. Like I kept
Mm-hmm.
instilling like this is a us thing. It ain't just don't look at it like it's just you. Like, what do you think for us to do?
I've never, even when I was renting, okay, even when I was renting, I never sat and said, this is my house. This
Right.
is my house.
Yeah,
This is
never.
my house. But
Yeah,
then
nah.
you helping me pay bills here.
Yeah, nah.
I could never sit and do that. I could sit and say, this is my closet. Because
Yeah,
all
nah.
my shit is in here. But
We didn't
no,
have none of that. It was never
we both have to be comfortable with happy spouse,
yeah.
happy house.
Yeah, there was never this is my house or whatever like that. Like, and it was crazy because when we had to kick out the tenants or whatever, she was at court with me as well. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And they was sitting there and T was like, I mean, ain't nothing we could do, but we had to kick him out. Like T had every right of wanting to kick them out as well. Like,
Mm-hmm.
even though she didn't vocally say it, it was I was like, what do you think? She's like, no, they gotta go. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So when we did the reconstruction of it and knocking walls down, it was like, yo, what do you think about this? Okay, yup, I agree with that. I agree with this. I think that, because guess what? When you're going through the trials and the tribulations,
Mm-hmm.
you want that person to be there with you. So
Mhm.
when everything is all good, you don't throw it in their face. Oh yeah, this mine,
Right.
this mine.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you going through them trials and tribulations, which
Remember, this yours.
oh yeah, bruh. T would tell people in a minute. Because of the tenants that was on the third floor, I couldn't separate the gas and electric. I was running the heat. They had the windows open. My bill was gone. PSENG cut our shit off. PSENG cut us off. T stayed in that house with me. She was like, I love you. It is cold as fuck in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I say we was cold,
Yeah.
we was cold.
I wish you
And
would kick me out.
yeah, like so it was like one of those, we've been through the
I think,
trials.
yeah, I think what will hurt somebody more is not even the fact that, like, oh, this is mine. It's like I rolled this shit out with you, and I don't even see it that way. You know what I'm saying? I like for
Mhm.
you to sit and throw it, but this shit is mine. This is my shit. I get that part, but I don't have like a little bit of like
Something
something when it comes because
right.
like you said, Ace, like you is freezing in here. I could have went to my mama
I
house.
could have went to my mama house. Hold on, let me
I
say
could have
that.
went somewhere and been fine, but no, like my love wasn't enough for you to at least have some type of consideration to me.
Yo,
That wasn't enough.
Jackie
You ain't
said,
even
honey,
have a pot to piss in before you got what was yours.
Facts.
exactly. Jackie said, honey, the bathroom has a leak. You know this not my house. Establish it from the door. Number one, auntie said that's a conversation that's not being had nowadays. What conversation? And Steph said, I agree with Jackie. Yeah, no, but that's the thing. I want to know what conversation she's talking about but that's true. Like being able to physically tell someone and standing by, not getting into an argument and throwing that up. I think like y'all know I'm real transparent with anything that goes on, bruh. Meek and Bill, I remember, and it's funny because Bill has a joke about it, and I had one too. But I told Bill, I was like, you got the whole thing laid out. I remember when the house next door was abandoned to the point that the mice kept running to our house. And T was like, yo, this is out of control. And I was like, we caught 9 mice in a matter of 3 hours. Like 9. You muted, I think, Bill. Go ahead, say something. Yeah, we can't hear you. Like 9 of them within a matter of 3 hours. And bro, when I say to you, T was a trooper, my dude. T was in the bathroom. She was in the bathroom doing her hair, and was like, she said, "Ha! We caught one in here," and I was like, "What?" Yo, she was a trooper. That woman was a. You muted. What's wrong with your thing?
Ace, let me tell you.
Yeah, Steph. 9.
You talking about that the rat shit, right? I'm from the Bronx. Okay, the city's infested.
We can't hear you, bro.
We can't hear you.
We still can't hear you.
We had to deal with. All right, there was a time I lived in that building 12 years. Okay, I lived in that building 12 years, and within that building, I fought a lot for that building, from protesting to community service to getting a bunch of activists to come sit in the. We went through like 7 different landlords, even from suing a bank. It was so bad to where the bank that owned the building, there was an incident in Hunts Point where the radiator blew up and it killed 2 kids. And the bank that owned the building I lived in owned that building as well. We was going to court and everything. I lived on the 5th floor. Okay. The 5th fucking floor. 5th floor.
5th floor woke up?
And the rats was so bad that I had to take the kids to my aunt's house, and we was on a mission to get rid of not only the rats in the building, but at least as much from the block, because the whole block, we had private homes. There was houses there, and they were complaining because of the rats. My nigga, that was I could have sat and told
that joint in the Bronx is crazy. I dropped my people off one day. Them New York rats is cats. When they start running and gangbanging and stuff,
it was so. And these are not normally
these are not little mice like this.
I had those. The Bronx rats are freaking.
They come on
they kittens. They are like
they kill in front of the building with the 40, asking you where you going.
Right.
Don't let them hop on the train.
And we knew why. Because like we said, the house next door was abandoned. It was nothing but squatters coming in and out and in and out. And they was leaving food there, and then they was leaving like dirty clothes there. So it started to make sense. It was real bad or whatever. And like I said, and this goes back into what we was talking about as far as the just making an established thing of, hey, we're in it, this is yours as much as mine. He was like, this we got to do something. And it was so bad. We just was like, yo, what can we do? We doing everything. I'm calling my father. My father, he like, yo, this is out of control. Y'all got an infestation. I'm like, yes. So what do we do?
Leave.
And, yo, exactly. Yo, that was crazy.
Honestly, I'm gonna be like this. We blowing this thing up, man. Everybody.
That's what I told. That's what I was like. Yo, they used to burn buildings down like this back then in the Bronx.
Jackie said,
just move us the fuck out. And
emotional damage.
Hold up. Jackie said she don't see him where she lives. Jackie, where you live at?
And Jackie lives in the Bronx too, but Jackie,
you on the I guess you can call it bougie side of the Bronx.
A little bit.
You're not that bougie, but it's all right. They start there and get out. You know what I mean? They start there and get out. They say they want to be in the hood.
So our block is crazy. The mice and rats are only towards the one end of the block. And she probably talking about the end where the apartment. Most of the time, you'll see them where either you got multiple the big dumpster of garbage, and that's normally where the apartment buildings are. If you are in residential areas, you don't worry necessarily so much about that. Like if I don't know how they keep them from down here. I guess the climate is different, because down here we only get garbage picked up once a week. So we have the 10-gallon cans. So these joints have a lid that these raccoons and stuff could lift up and everything. But,
no, but see, the raccoons, they always have. This is crazy. This turned to a whole extermination. But
yeah,
it's crazy. When I moved over here where I'm at now, people they leave the garbage outside in garbage bags on the street. And I'm like, yo, y'all crazy? When I used to do that in my house, the raccoons would come open the bags,
ripping them open.
Yeah, sitting there like, yo, you want something? Like they sitting there really like chilling. But
I have a raccoon and a skunk problem over here.
You got a skunk problem?
Skunk and raccoons over here.
Yo, I saw a skunk get hit. I saw a baby skunk get hit the other day. I'm not gonna tell you how I felt, but
you was happy as hell. I know.
I know that shit stunk.
I seen it right when it got hit. He was running. I was like, oh, and then
skunks die every day, baby.
Oh, it was at night?
No, it was during the day.
And you ran that shit over. You couldn't see.
Yeah, Bill. Did you hear that, Jackie? Did you hear how he told on himself? He said, "I seen that shit up close and personal."
Yeah, I was watching at the light. I was in there. Oh, and they hit him, but then I had to make the left because I was going to golf.
Oh my God, Bill is the one that hit it.
Fucking skunk rushing to go to golf.
Bill hit that skunk like 4.
Yo, people, listen. Don't listen to anything that Ace says about me and my golf thing. But we appreciate y'all for tuning in every Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. It's the Good Brunchin Podcast. We appreciate y'all. Shout out to the angry producer for doing this thing. We must have been good because we didn't get no pauses today. You know, I'm proud of us. I think we made a whole episode and we didn't have to pause. That's just very good. So I'm proud of all of us. And Meek, what you got going on tonight, Meek? You chilling tonight? Oh, hold on. Meek is doing readings, all right. She's almost done. Friday is it. Friday is over. So if y'all need to get y'all reading, y'all better call her now. Because she's going on hiatus.
Oh, you going on a break?
Yeah, for 3 months. I'm taking a 3-month break from reading. So
when she comes back, she's gonna be bald.
And I'm pushing it from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. So if y'all want to get your readings in,
Mika gonna read the hell out of people when she come back.
Why y'all niggas is gonna get it?
Mika gonna come back. Somebody gonna
I ain't gonna be around for 3 months. Y'all better get it together.
Hey, look.
Y'all better get it together.
Mika gonna come back. Somebody gonna buy how much of the reading? She like, for you, the spirits that I have for the 3 months off. Oh my God! She like the months for 3 months. Your spirit's been bothering me. Like,
let me tell you.
Let me tell you about your spirits. Don't worry about it. That'll be $99.99.
You.
The only thing I'm gonna probably bake my son a cake because he asked me to bake him a cake. That's if he's here because he's probably gonna be in the studio. But other than that, that's it.
He working. You know, if I knew you were coming, I'd have baked the cake with my micro bake. You remember that song? Yeah, that was it. That was it. All right, tonight, Bill? Tonight we at karaoke. You know, we had Strap Hanger bringing karaoke tonight at Strap Hanger. So pull up on us. Come get your singing on. And just letting y'all know, I'm gonna put it out there soon. This Friday, I'll be celebrating my birthday. My birthday's Thursday, but Friday we celebrate my birthday, and we're doing a whole live band. Open mic type of thing. If y'all seen the Pink Punch Boogie, yeah, some things like that's gonna go ahead and be happening. So make sure y'all come out. It's a BYOW that is bring your own weed, yes, and it's a BYOB. So bring your own bottles. You're gonna see all the information on there. Ace, you can bring your edibles, and I'll let you come in live stream. But it's gonna be dope. It's definitely gonna be dope. So if y'all want to pull up, y'all can
Friday.
It's Friday. It's going down. This Friday is going down.
Big shout out. I just want to say a big shout out to the Queen. She been working hard. They are getting ready to do their poetry thing down in Pompano Beach, Florida, in about 2 weeks. So she's been really working tirelessly. But I am proud of you, girl. Proud of you. She has, I think now she was at 14 poems that she was a part of out of 23. She was in 14 out of 23, but now they cut back. So now she's in, I think, 9 out of like 17.
Wow.
So she still has the most poems. Yeah, she's the captain of the team. She got the most poems in the group. But you know, if you've never seen my wife perform poetry, it ain't what y'all think it is. It ain't what y'all think it is. She ain't. And it's fuck this nigga and the clicky clink. Like, yeah. She had told me one time. She said, I have a new poem that I'm gonna start off with. She said, first line gonna be, Tamika's cool, but fuck my husband, Bill, and Cash. I said, God damn, wait a minute, what we do? She's like,
so I don't really know him. You know, so I don't really know him. Yeah. And then you got T's cheerleader in the comments talking about T the goat.
Yeah. Monty, I told you. I don't know if I told y'all. They used to have a group called Money Making Bitches. I was like,
hold up, though. I love it.
And I have hey Bill, and I have receipts.
We were PMS, pretty mixed
PMS.
sisters.
I knew she was gonna say that. Yo, we got a gang that goes on Call of Duty, a whole bunch of girls on their periods.
Monty, I have the receipts. Your sister didn't realize I got the receipts. I was like, hey, what's this about? She was like, where you get that from? Oh, I got receipts. Yeah, they had shirts and everything.
Monty said, Bill, ain't alive.
Come on, don't get it fucked up. We was outside.
Wanda, we got to talk about that. But people, we thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all tomorrow at 12 o'clock. It's the Good Brunchin Podcast. Good Brunchin, y'all.
Good brunchin', a good brunchin', a good brunchin'. It's the Good Brunchin Podcast. 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 Everybody, good brunchin'. It's the Good Brunchin Podcast. It's the Good Brunchin Podcast. It's the Good Brunchin Podcast. Everybody.